kind of cool in here, isn't it? A little cooler than outside. Thanks for coming today. Very happy to introduce the co-founders of Be Inclusive, which is a nonprofit group here in town. We have Kristen Kohlmeyer and Shantae Holmes, and we also have another member of the group, Silpa Pandey, who you may recognize from our cupcake classes. She's also a teacher with that. But I'm going to hand it over to the ladies to talk more about their group and their mission and what they do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thanks everybody for coming today. We'll just spend a little time talking a little bit about our organization and what we're up to and some of our programs. And then we're happy to answer any questions you may have or share some information about how to get involved. And we'll just go from there. So this is our agenda for today. We'll do some welcomes and introductions. We'll talk about how Be Inclusive came about. We'll talk a little bit about our programs and then share some highlights of what we've done over the last few years and share some information about how you can get involved if you're interested in volunteering with us at all.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Shantae, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about the history of Be Inclusive and how we came to be. So I am originally from Dorchester. I moved to Walpole back in 2018, myself and my family, which includes my husband, and I have 4 children, ages 16 through 7, and I have my 7-year-old in the back today. So when we moved here, there was quite a bit of culture shock for us because we came from a predominantly environment that had people of color and a lot of different ethnicities, including that. And so when we moved here, it was kind of hard for us to find some of the things that we connected with culturally. And so we decided, when George Floyd was murdered, I decided to do something that was a lot more tangible. Thinking about and hoping about and wanting things to change is a great start, but I really wanted to really make that happen. And so Juneteenth in 2020 happened, and from there we've been doing that ever since, and the Multicultural Books Initiative was started.
So our mission at Be Inclusive is to create inclusive communities by lifting the voices of typically underrepresented and marginalized communities, recognizing diverse cultures and intersectional experiences, and supporting healthy racial identity development and ongoing anti-racist learning through education, community events, programming, and resources. So again, like Shantae said, we sort of unofficially started Be Inclusive back in 2020 with the very first Juneteenth event. And then shortly after that started one of our programs called the Multicultural Books Initiative, and have been growing since then. That's us. I don't know if you have anything else to say on that slide.
No, nothing. So as Kristen mentioned, we have 2 main programs. The Multicultural Books Initiative was started after the first Juneteenth event. We had funds left over after putting the event together, and we decided, well, why don't we send some books to the elementary schools that taught about Juneteenth, because you go to an event and you celebrate, but you don't really learn the history, right? And so we wanted to put that in our schools and also in the main library. And then after that, we decided, okay, well, we can't just do that with one school. We should do it with all the schools. And so we also wanted to talk about other things that were important related to culture, life experiences, things that are happening in the world that we want to teach our children at a younger age so that we're preparing them for life. And so we decided to expand to all of the elementary schools and to the pre-K school, Daniel Feeney. So we've been donating books every month that are theme-based and have been curated and vetted by all of our volunteers, and we have a couple in the audience. And also just to make sure that we're providing resources. So we send the books to the schools, the actual physical books, and then we also give resources to the staff, because all staff may not know and have the time to look for these these resources to read the books and to teach the children about these important topics and themes. So we also give the resource. We're trying to make it easy, right? We're not trying to add anything additional to the teachers' plates. So we do that as well. We are communicating, and we're going into our 4th year. This is our 4th year providing books to all of the schools, which is great. And we've donated, I think, over 400 titles up to now to the schools. And we have a list that we share often with staff that need it. The inclusive community events is where Juneteenth lives, and also most recently our newer celebration is Diwali. And we have some information that we'll share about both of those. Oh, and we also have recently, we do a lot. So we have just started last year, we did our very first hair care drive, and that was to benefit the Home for Little Wanderers here in Walpole. So we met some of the kiddos who live in the home at our Juneteenth event, and they were just adoring my daughter's hair and my hair, and they were like, oh, how do we get our hair done like that? We don't have hair supplies. And so it gave me an idea to try to do a drive that will directly benefit those kids who need supplies. When you think about kids who are living in homes or going through different foster homes and carrying trash bags, they're just at the expense of whoever's giving, right? They are given whatever and taken whatever, and they may not always meet their hair care needs. So I felt that in my heart as a Black woman, and so I really wanted to make sure I helped. So that's where the hair care drive came from, and we're looking to do that again in February. Of course.
I hope it's not a dumb one, but
No.
Diwali.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Don't be sorry. Oh, you did? Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm so glad you came. We're going to definitely talk about Diwali. Sorry, I'm a little long-winded. And the last one is, did I talk about the? Community conversations, which is upcoming. We're still working on that, but we're wanting to try to have conversations. We're talking with the kids about important topics and themes that need to be talked about, but we're not talking with the adults at this point. So we're hoping to expand and to talk to the community about important topics that we're talking with the kids, and hopefully we'll be able to branch out and do that soon.
I'm going to pass around a couple things. These 2 flyers just have examples of the books that we've donated, so you can take a look at those and just pass them along. And these are flyers. Each of you can take one and hang on to it.
Oh, me again. So why do we celebrate Juneteenth? Some of you said that you've attended, which is great. I'm really, really happy that you've come. For those who haven't, good news, it's coming back again every June 19th. So June 19th of every year, that's when we will have that. And so it is really an independent celebration. So sometimes you see Juneteenth and you see people thinking and talking about it and referring to it in a sad way. And I really want to try to encourage you to think about it as a happy event, a celebratory event. We are celebrating the ending of slavery officially. We know that in 1865, slavery ended with the emancipation, but that news did not make it to Texas, to across the country. We didn't have all the technology, obviously, then, so it took a while. It took 2 years. So in 1867, that's when slavery officially ended, and that's what we're celebrating for Juneteenth. And as every holiday should be celebrated, we should celebrate them all, and we should know all about why we're celebrating. And we have a short clip to show you that from this past year for those who weren't able to make it, and for those who were, hopefully you might see yourself.
Jeff says choose us or them. Love says there is no them. See, Juneteenth is that. Juneteenth says be that when talking with someone that is not Black. Juneteenth is more than a holiday. When shining, Juneteenth is every day. Let me just say every day. Juneteenth be that.
So that's kind of a short clip and snippet of what that day was like, which was a beautiful, beautiful celebration, an example of what we can do if we come together and show love. So I just wanted to share that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shilpa Pandey, as Debbie had introduced, and I am a programming committee member of Be Inclusive. And I've been working with Be Inclusive for over 2 years now, and I love it. I love Multicultural Books Initiative and the different community events that we do. So I have been leading Diwali for the past 2 years, and to explain Diwali, it's one of the major festivals that is celebrated in India. And we thought of bringing that to Be Inclusive because, again, as a motto of Be Inclusive, one of our key objectives is to lift up the voices of underrepresented. Indian community, we do have a good Indian community in Walpole, but at the same time, we wanted an event that would explain what this festival is about and include the different community members that we have in Walpole to be a part of it, to celebrate it with us, and people who want to learn about this festival, give them an opportunity to learn about it, right, and understand the Indian community a little better. So what is Diwali? Diwali, it is primarily celebrated by Hindus in India, but it's also celebrated by several other communities like Jains, and there's several religions in India. It's a big secular country, so it's celebrated by different religions like Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhs. So religiously, it's celebrated by those communities, but also culturally, it's celebrated by Christians as well as other religions in India. Think of it as huge as Christmas that's celebrated here. So both religiously and culturally. So it celebrates the victory of good over evil, and its origins have different stories as explained in different communities and religions, but the basic underlying factor is that it celebrates the victory of good over evil, and it's celebrated with lighting lamps, colorful lamps called diyas, outside the house and inside the house, again, which marks the bringing of light to eradicate darkness or evil. So we have been celebrating it for the past 2 years. Last year has been very successful. Even the year before, it was celebrated mainly with children, but we are very proud and happy to be doing it. And we are hoping that you all will be taking a part in it. It's coming again this November. Thank you.
And this year, the event will be here, so it'll be easy to find us for for the Diwali celebration.
They have it in Franklin because we were in Franklin and they had some sort of last year celebration.
There may have been.
Franklin,
There may be.
beautiful costumes, everybody
Yes.
had on.
So
Wonderful.
there might be
Yeah.
there might be an Indian association in Franklin that might have celebrated it, but I do know that it's celebrated in different different suburbs and different communities in the greater Boston area. So you might have seen it.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
When is the function going to be here? November 4th?
November 4th. It's going to be here on November 4th from 4 to 7, I think. Here.
In this building. In the Council
In the Council on Aging building.
Yes.
So we hope you all can make it.
Yep. We're planning to have food, dancing, vendors, children's activities, all kinds of stuff. So it should be a good time.
We tried out the same model.
Right. Yeah.
I hope I answered your question about what is Diwali.
Oh,
Did
thank
that?
you very much, I appreciate it. I don't think we have that in Sharon at all, but thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. We also have a little video from last year's Diwali, so you all can see that as well. Looks pretty fun. So we hope you'll join us this year. And another note about our programming, when we put on community events and things like Diwali and Juneteenth, we have folks who are from that culture helping us plan the event so that we make sure it's authentic, that we're really doing things that fit within the culture and the expectations for the celebration. So if you know anybody who would like to be a cultural ambassador and would like to have an event represented, let us know, and we're happy to hear the ideas and see if we can make something happen. We would love to be able to expand our events and our programming to cover even more cultures and celebrations and have them be seen by everybody in Walpole. And our events are really for everybody. They are meant to have sort of a piece of education connected to it so that folks know what we're celebrating and why we're coming together, and for everybody to feel included in being a part of that celebration.
The other thing that we do for Be Inclusive is focus on community partnerships. So those are really important to us because we are a grassroots community nonprofit organization. We really need to collaborate and work with other groups who are either established already or those who are also in the same space as us to make sure that we are putting together thoughtful events and that we have the funding for those events, and also so that we are including, like Kristen said, all of the different groups like yourselves, which is why we are here, and making sure that they come together the way they should. So some of the community partners that we have are Council of Aging, and also Bay State Community Services, which is the parent company of Turning Point Recovery Center, which is here in Walpole. And we also work very closely, as we mentioned, through the Multicultural Books Initiative with the Walpole Public School District, communicating with them, sharing resources. We go to some of their events and work with some of their English language learner group. So families who are coming from different countries and living in town who have additional language needs. So we're trying to make sure that we are touching on all different corners of the community so that we can help others and others can reach out to us as a resource as well.
All right. So as we mentioned, we are always welcoming volunteers, anybody who would like to help out. A few of the areas that we're looking for some help with, and you can spread the word if you know anybody who has some of these skills. One is some help with grant writing, either researching grants and sending them our way, or if you have really strong writing skills, helping write some of the grants. We also are looking for help with our social media. We had a lovely young woman who was helping us for a while, but she's in college and needs to focus on her classes. So we would need some help with that. We also are always adding people to the Multicultural Books Initiative. Volunteers in that group will read the books that we're suggesting and see if they seem like they're a good fit or not. Sometimes we think a book is going to work out. We read it and we realize maybe the messaging isn't great, and so we don't donate it to the school. And also in that group, kind of looking for teaching resources for the teachers, things like that. So there's a lot of little things that happen with that group that a volunteer can help with. What were some of the other things? General event help. So with Diwali coming up, we're working with volunteers now to get help on the day of and also in the planning process. Tabling events. So we get invited to a lot of community events like Walpole Day or Harvest Fest or Medfield Pride, things like that. So sometimes we need help to just have somebody there at our table to share information. So any of those things are helpful, or probably many things I'm not thinking of. So if you have any specific skills that you think might be helpful to us, feel free to reach out and we're happy to chat with you about that. And our email address is here. The best way to reach both Shantae and I is the info@beinclusivema.org. And you can shoot us an email and we can set up a time to chat and just see what makes sense and how we can connect. Any questions for us?
I just wanted to add, since I'm a member of Be Inclusive and I'm at the COA, anybody who has questions later, please ask me.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and we're happy to stick around for a bit and chat. And we hope you enjoyed our little presentation.